We taste and smell food because of chemicals present in the food or released by it into the air. These chemicals are sensed by our cells, which signal our brains what we're eating. We perceive what chemicals are in the foods because the olfactory cells in our nasal passage and taste buds on our tongue are coated with proteins called receptors. These proteins protrude from the surface of the cell outwards, where they can interact with chemicals present outside the cells. Each receptor has a very specific shape, a shape so specific that only certain chemicals can interact with it. This interaction is similar to how a lock interacts with a key. If the key fits into the lock, it unlocks. If it does not, the door stays closed. If the chemical fits into the receptor, we perceive that particular characteristic. Sometimes the chemical partially fits into the receptor, and this leads to a partial perception of that characteristic. If the chemical does not fit into the receptor, we don't perceive it. Some people have receptors that will not bind with a specific aroma molecule and therefore cannot sense that aroma. They are said to have a specific anosmia to that particular aroma. The overall flavor experience involves both taste and aroma. Of course, other aspects of psychology and the environment also influence the dining experience, but those are beyond the scope of this discussion. There are taste buds that are specific to sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and umami on the tongue. It was once thought that specific parts of the tongue were responsible for detecting specific tastes. This tongue map has since been disproven, as receptors for each of the tastes are found all over the tongue's surface. Olfactory cells in our nose have receptors specific to many different types and classes of volatile compounds. The flavor of food is determined by signals sent to the brain from taste buds in the mouth and olfactory cells in the nasal passage. These combined signals are interpreted in the brain as the flavor of the food. As food is chewed, it is broken down into smaller and smaller pieces, allowing more surface area. Tastings dissolve into the saliva, where they can make contact with taste buds on the tongue. Most aroma molecules do not like being dissolved in water, and so evaporate from the food as we chew. These volatile chemicals are inhaled retronasally from the back of the mouth into the nasal passage to come into contact with the olfactory receptors. If this retronasal perception is prevented, like when we hold our nose or have a cold, only the tasting chemicals in the food itself, and not those volatile compounds released by the food into the air, are sensed, giving an incomplete flavor experience. When we smell aromas coming from the kitchen, it is because aroma molecules are being evaporated from the surface of the food into the air. These aromas are lost and are not there to be perceived when eating the food. Aroma molecules will dissolve in fats and alcohol, which are less polar than water, and thus chefs can adjust their cooking techniques to maximize the retention of aroma and flavor compounds. To do this, a chef could choose to use a pressure cooker or cook en papillote or sous vide, which trap aromas inside with the food so that they are not lost and can be enjoyed by the diner.